everybody, welcome to another video. As you guys know, the Porsche Cayman GT4 RS was finally revealed. As you guys know, I am a 981 GT4 owner of the car right before the RS, so I'm sure most of you guys know that. If you're new to the channel, the car I just sold right before my RS3 was the 981 GT4. So I've spent a lot of time in a GT4. I'm really fond of that platform. I've done a video with the new 991.2 Touring. Still a dream car to me, but even when I filmed that video, the GT4 pulls its weight in pretty much every category. The 4RS was a car that I've been anticipating for a very long time, as I think most of us have been, with the release of the C8 Z06 and the GT4, two cars that everyone was really waiting for. And I have good news about everything I hoped to be true, and the main thing we predicted to be true is true. The GT4 RS came with the 992 GT3 engine. Essentially the exact same engine with just different cooling. The intakes or some sort of cooling is placed differently because now, which we'll get into if you haven't seen the release, now they did coolings in the little rear windows instead of windows to feed directly into the engine. And it makes like 7 less horsepower than the 500 in the 992 GT3 just because a longer exhaust system, different back pressure, etc. Today, I'm going to be actually speccing out 2 different configurations of the GT4 RS, how I personally would spec them, and going through the options available and just kind of taking a look. I will give you a hint. One is Weissach or Weissach, however you want to say it. One is not. We're gonna get into more things, but one being the price is pretty much my biggest issue with the car, but I do have some explanation on why I think it might be okay. A couple quick details if you don't know about the GT4 RS and why it is gonna be such a special car. Now, they have never put a fully GT developed engine in a Cayman. In the mid-engine platform, the Cayman Boxster, which essentially is, and I know a lot of you 911 lovers are gonna get mad, but I'm pretty sure we're on the same page here, it is a better setup. They finally decided to take, like I said, that 992 GT3 engine, the 4-liter NA flat 6, making 500 horsepower in this car. It's like 493, 330 foot-pounds of torque, and they put it in the Cayman GT4. This is an RS product, so A, got a huge price increase, B, it's got a lot of goodies. The one thing I don't think they did on it, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if it's just a wider wheelbase, but a wider fenders, which I'm gonna assume comes with a wider wheelbase. I don't think they did on this car, which I kind of wish they did. If they did, sorry, it doesn't look like it. I wish the car looked a little wider. Besides that, I cannot complain. The car looks amazing, and I'll get into a couple things that I don't like about it. Now, last thing before we get into this car recently, pre-official reveal, Porsche released official Nurburgring Times. It ran a 7-minute and 4-second Nurburgring lap time. Still, I think 7 seconds slower than GT3. I personally think within customers getting their hands on it and more people and maybe even racing teams, I think that's gonna be B. I think you'll see, especially with minor modifications, these out-driving the GT3 on track. That's just me. If you disagree, if you're a 911 fanboy, I get it. Just wait and see. Don't tell me I'm an idiot, just let's wait and see, then you can tell me I'm an idiot. Some of the details I can get into, we'll talk about it here. I'm here up on the configurator. It's pretty cool to see the 718 GT4 RS. I'm in the United States, so that is 141,000, almost 142,000 US dollars. I don't know what that converts to euro, pounds, yen. Right above it, the 718 Spider starts at 98,000 and the GT4 starts at 101,000. So it's $40,000 over the GT4. Gets even worse because it is an RS product, so they offer the Ysac Package, which is another 20 grand if you get the wheels. The car can be optioned above $200,000. $200,000 for a Cayman or a Boxster is ridiculous. I get it, that was my first thought. That's still my thought, but I will give it this. It is still, by a decent margin, the cheapest RS product you can get your hands on. That includes semi-modern, brand new RS product, and even a lot of the used RS products. The 991 GT3 RS.1 is still way more expensive than that. And even the 997, especially .1s, I think are even going for more for some reason. GT3s with the Metzger engine is still going for more than that. So kind of used market, let's disregard that. Out of the box, it is by far the most accessible RS product. So I still get that. We cannot forget, this comes from Porsche GT department and is an RS product. So around $140,000, would I buy one? Yes. Will I probably wait till secondhand market? Yes. And will I be able to afford one then? Still, we'll see. Let's start with my non-Weissach car that I spec'd. We'll go up to the top. I'll run you guys through some of the options on the car. Personally, like a lot of looks of this better. I've always been a fan of RS products without the carbon hood. I like the carbon hood, but especially for a road car, it looks more like a road car. Supposedly you can spec that 2RS style, half painted, half carbon, kind of U-shaped thing, which I think would look really, really good on the car, but I do like the painted hood. I also think it's cool that you get the 992 GT3 wheels. I think those are the same. They should be exactly the same. And I spec them with a little black with a yellow strip around to match the carbon ceramics, which we'll get in. The two new colors, essentially, I'd say one new color is gonna be Arctic Gray. I'm not sure if that came on the 992 GT3, but it definitely didn't come on the 718 GT4 unless it was released really recently and I just didn't catch that. And then you also have Shark Blue, which was released with the 718 GT4 and Spider, and then pretty much your regular color palette, including the new Gentian Blue Metallic, which looks awesome. I can just show you that right now. On my interior, let's hope it kept my interior. I really messed up this configuration here. Note to self, don't change things since I have these all set up. I guess I'm gonna have to just spec this as we go. Here you go, Ysac Package is another $13,000 on top of the $16,000 for the wheels. About $30,000 if you want a full Weissach package on this car. PDK only, did I mention that? I have the theory that they're gonna take the manual gearbox out of the 992 GT3 and they're gonna make the last iteration of the Cayman R. They haven't made a Cayman R since the 987 generation, and with the 911R being a manual version of the GT3 RS, I think this would be a perfect opportunity, and that will be a car that I'd probably wait for. Honestly, all I really need to do is just make enough money to be able to afford that car when that launches. Anyone can get me one at MSRP. I believe that strongly that it's going to come out. And anyone from Porsche is watching this, which I'm sure you are, I know your secrets. Front axle lift system, which is pretty cool to have on a GT4. I think the first time ever. I don't think you get one of those on a 718. And I did the Porsche carbon ceramic brake. I also did the PLS headlights, as you can see. This one was supposed to be conservative. Price was just there. I think I messed it up. This one out the box is supposed to be probably what I would spend my money on. I'd probably get a secondhand Weissach, but at the same time, I don't know how many people are gonna spend $200,000 on a Cayman, so this is kind of genuinely, if money was an option, this is the route I would go. I think the 3D printed full bucket is the new Porsche 918 seat. I guess you can spec that in this. I've seen it before, it's pretty cool. Maybe I would do it, but it is another $4,000, but maybe that's $4,000 opposed to the original price you paid for the buckets. I don't know. I did the fire extinguisher. I would do a luggage net. Why not? It's free. Instrument dials in white, chrono in white. I wish they offered yellow. I think they used to on some of their cars. They don't here. And then I would do the pulley loops in shark blue because why not? I did the door trim package in leather race tex. I'm pretty sure it comes that either way. I don't know what that does. Maybe it's extended. And then I always do the storage compartment lid in Alcantara as their race tex with a little Porsche crest because I had it on my GT4, so why not? Carbon fiber door sills. The entire interior, I do not think you can get carbon without the Weissach package. I could be wrong. Maybe it is carbon. It doesn't look like carbon, but you can option it the carbon section. So I think it's a really good spec. I would be plenty happy with this car. We can go through all the photos. The rear end of the car looks really good with the new swan neck. I wish they changed the rear a little. I do miss the center exit from the 981. My big gripe on this car is that you cannot paint that thing right there. You cannot paint it, and I think it looks aftermarket, and it bothers me actually a lot, as a matter of fact. Moving on to my Weissach car, which, like you can see here, came out to $192,000. Almost halfway to $193,000. $50,000 in options, and you're gonna see there's a lot of options I did not choose. We can actually, just for the end of this video, spec this car to 200K just cuz. Now obviously if money was no option, or if it was second hand and I could buy one of these for the same price as a new non-Weissach car, I would. I chose black. I always wanted an all black RS product. I think if I got a GT3 RS, it'd be all black. I don't know why, it just makes it look so menacing. I also chose all black because, as you can see, when the car is the same color as that panel, it looks a lot better. I think that's in carbon, by the way, but they should still let you paint it. Now, the carbon is gonna be a little less dark than the paint, which is also gonna match the hood and the wheels, so I'm totally fine with that. But here's the car. I'll show you the interior real quick. I didn't go with the blue interior. I went with like a yellow seatbelt, yellow pulley with the white, just because I think that white gray kind of matches, again, the hood, the wheels, things like that. Just a very, I would say menacing, but some of you guys say mellow spec. So I went with black, which is a free option. One of the mag wheels, 15 grand. I did the wheels painted in silver. I personally hate the satin indigo blue, that new blue they launched the mags in, though they do look okay with gentian blue because it's almost body color, sort of, but I think in person it might be different. Now, if they could paint the whole car in satin indigo blue, sign me up. Like I said, I did that interior. Okay, so the buckets are free. I'm maybe with the mag, or maybe they're just free with this car in general. I did the Ysac package, which pretty much gives you that carbon hood. The Weissach essentially gives you a titanium roll cage. I think it's still the same carbon, everything in the back. And then I think carbon fiber, which it still doesn't look like carbon fiber. So maybe it's always carbon fiber trim, I don't know. Then I do the window triangle trims in carbon fiber. So these little things right here, just because carbon, because why not? PDK only. I did the chrono, the front axle, the carbon ceramics. I think the brakes in black would look cool, but yellow just to match the interior and because carbon ceramics. Also, I think I would almost rather have steel brakes on this car for road use, even though supposedly steel brakes are better for track use and because they last longer. I don't know. I did the auto dimming mirrors just because I like those. Luggage net, fire extinguisher. I love the fire extinguisher. It's the one option in my GT4 that it didn't have that I was really sad. And then, like I said, seat belts in racing yellow, the pulleys in racing yellow, both instrument dials in white. Again, if I could have done yellow, that's what I would have done. I did the storage compartment lid in race text with the Porsche crest. Again, let me know, would you order this car with a Weissach or would you order it without? Is this car too expensive with all things considered, it being an RS product and also being a Cayman, or do you understand the price? I'm gonna guess you could spec that car if you did some sort of PTS, so you paid that 13 grand. Let's say they didn't ask over sticker. I'm gonna say you could almost spec that car to $230,000 US dollars. And it could be more. I mean, there's so many more options I could have chose, but I'm such a fan. I cannot imagine what it's gonna be like to drive Porsche. I pretty much need to blow up between now and the time you have a press car, so you send me a press car. So if you guys know anyone at Porsche, or anyone at Porsche's watching this video, get me in a press car, will be the best day of my life. I have some knowledge of the GT4 product, so that's just a little cool video I wanted to do with you guys. If you guys like these videos of me speccing out cars when they are released and talking about them, let me know. If you want me to get out of my office and go drive cars, let me know. I love you guys. Thank you to whoever's new. I don't need any of you guys to subscribe, but turn those notifications on if you can do that without subscribing. I don't, just bye.